Everyone, this is Carola with Yewno. Welcome to the second part of my three-part series on using Yewno Edge, where we take a closer look at two of our components, concept exposures and key developments. If you have not seen part one, please take a quick look at it for your introduction into this web-based financial research tool. So let's start with concept exposure. Right here under menu, you have this drop-down menu. And under risk exposure, we have concept exposure. I'm going to open that up, drop it in our window, and I want to look at Amazon. I make that selection here. And in this example, I can look at all the trending concepts that Amazon is affected by. I'm able to look at long-term and short-term exposure. The difference between these quantitative measures is their look-back window. For long-term, it's 6 months, while short-term, we're looking at 2 weeks of news data. We also provide you with concept-based sentiments. We can actually tell you if any given concept is positive or negative toward the company. Here in these last 3 columns, you can see the change in sentiment over the past day, week, or 30 days. And then you select the sentiment button right here, and you can sort by negative sentiment or positive sentiment. Now, if we want to take a look at a concept in specific, I'm going to select cloud computing. And you can see how the exposure has changed over time with the relevant sentiment score. Takes us all the way here. By clicking on this blue button, explanation for exposure, I'm able to drill down into the sources behind the sentiment score changes in our key developments module. And these headlines are culled from the thousands of articles that we have ingested into Yewno Edge in real time on a daily basis. As you can see, we're searching for cloud computing and Amazon, so the news feed shows us results with that focus. By clicking on any of the items, you can see the key points of this article, as well as a link to the full story and information on the sentiment. We don't create these concepts, but rather they are detected by our system as they appear in the news feed in real time. Let me give you another example. I'm going to go back into concept exposures. And I want to look at a company, Inovio. Inovio was one of the companies that had been mentioned regarding a vaccine for coronavirus. And we actually can find coronavirus as one of the concepts that it is exposed to. And we found this by reading the text of news items and other documents, and it allowed us to detect Inovio's exposure to that concept. By clicking on the concept, we can do further analysis and look at changes of the sentiment for that concept over time. As well as we can get an explanation for exposure by clicking on the blue button here and opening this window. And that is our key developments feed. And it shows us that we're looking for Inovio and coronavirus. And so then here are the news items that account for that change in sentiment. And like before, we can click on it, see the most relevant parts of a particular story, click to the actual story, and also look at sentiments and how they affect different companies. Finally, let's take another look at key developments. I'm going to close up concept exposures and key developments, I want to search for something different. So I'm going to delete Inovio and coronavirus. And now we can search for a company, a portfolio, or a list, or you can search for a term like Brexit. And the system understands that you're looking for the official concept for the United Kingdom withdrawal from the European Union. So in this way, we can look for relevant news even if the keyword Brexit is not mentioned in the news item. And when we look at any one of these items, the most relevant portion of the text is exposed first. Then we have a link to the story, and then company information and the daily price change. I hope this brief video was helpful in understanding these two concepts of Yewno Edge. In my next video, I will focus on creating a strategy based on our concept exposure engine. Thank you for your time, and see you soon.